Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Ride With Me. Hope you guys are enjoying the other episodes. Sorry about the delay in the other couple episodes there. Google didn't like their own Google Chrome when I was uploading my videos, so had to use Internet Explorer. Big thank you to Jared Heinrichs of Jared Heinrichs Photography for helping me figure out that little tech issue. But today, it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Bit of a lighter day today. Actually, no, that's not true. Still got 4 shoots on the books. And just to recap my week a little bit, and it was a very wet week, so kind of screwed the week a little bit. Had to do a lot of rescheduling. We were supposed to do video for a $1.8 million house out in East St. Paul. That got canceled and pushed to next week. But we did get a couple nice days. Yesterday was a beautiful day. I was out in East Selkirk again and did a video shoot out there. Beautiful property with a pool. Very cool. Like acre and a half or something like that. And that one's being listed by Jeremy Zadrill and the Your Signature team out in Selkirk. Make sure you guys go check out the video on my Facebook or on my YouTube channel. And but today, I'm heading out to Beausejour, doing a shoot out there for Wilk & Company, Pam Wilkie of Wilk & Company Real Estate. So gonna get that one done, and then I'm back into the city for my other 3 shoots. But the rain kind of messes things up, and it can get a little frustrating. Yesterday had another little interesting incident. I was photographing a house in Transcona. Very nice, cute, like first-time home buyers, 3-bedroom or 3-bedroom home. And when I showed up, I was taking the pictures of the living room, and I was about to set up for a shot and looked out the window, and I see 2 police cruiser cars pull up and 4 police officers step out of the vehicle, and I'm like, that's kind of interesting. So I finished my whole shoot, and I'm stepping out of the house, locking up the house and everything, and now there are 6 cruiser cars there and 8 police officers looking at me walking out of this home. It was they asked me a bunch of questions. They were what I was doing. They looked at my ID and such like that, but they were looking for someone 2 houses down. They asked me if I had seen them or seen the person or anything like that when I was photographing the backyard. But kind of one of those moments when you turn around, you see 8 police officers looking at you, and the first thing that comes to mind is, I didn't do it. And we run into all sorts of interesting situations, and but that was the first being questioned by the police. So yesterday also I was shooting a house, I think in St. Patel, and the homeowner is an amateur photographer, and that brings me to what I want to talk about today. Is photography has become very accessible. Pretty much everybody has a camera. If you have a phone, you have a camera. And cameras in general have come down in price, and their quality of a point and shoot camera or an entry level DSLR camera, the quality of them has gotten significantly better since I started in 2008. But the questions were, should they go to school for it and things like that. And, if it's something you really want to take seriously and maybe you want to become a full-time photographer, maybe looking at a course or going to Red River or Prairie View, might be a good idea for you. I never took any schooling. I'm completely self-taught, the school of YouTube and books. But you could learn you could be book smart in photography all you want. It will never replace the experience of actually shooting and gaining the experience and figuring out how your camera works. and how to get the best quality images. Yes, you got to learn. I'm very technical. I always looking at equipment, looking at how to shoot better, working with other photographers, and that's a key. If you're looking to get into photography, if it's part-time, full-time, whatever it is, join a photography club. There are several in Winnipeg. A couple that come to mind is the Winnipeg South Photo Club, Manitoba Photo Friends, photo spelt with an F. They're a group I'm involved with. There's Winnipeg Photo, winnipegphoto.com, and like I said, manitobaphotofriends.ca, I think it is, or .com. But just Google search any of the photo clubs, get involved, go to events, ask questions, but mainly, get out and shoot. I have several books on lighting and such like that, and those were great, but it taught me the fundamentals of how to use my camera and such. But the experience, I look back to when I first started photography as a hobby in 2008 after my son was born, and where I am now. In 2008 I barely knew how to use Photoshop, to clone things out and things, and I'm still a very amateur Photoshop user. Like, I can't do some of the crazy things that I see done. A friend of mine, he is a Photoshop guru. He can create pretty much anything. And but like I was saying, like, when I look back at my old photos, I'm like, man, I sucked. But it was a learning experience. And then in 2011, when I started real estate photography, I go back and look at those images, and they were good. They were way better than anything self-shot with an iPhone or a point shoot, or I understood the lighting. But I look at what I have now, or what I do now, and I never thought I would be using multiple lights or multiple layers in Photoshop. Doing my twilight shoots that sometimes are up to 40 layers in Photoshop, and masking in lights, and are certain spots of the images, and that just comes with the experience. Shooting and shooting again and again and again, and figuring out what's working, what isn't working. Using flashes, not the built-in flash on a camera, but using external flashes on light stands and remote triggers and things like that. And I don't think you can learn that from a book. You can get the ideas and, like I said, the fundamentals, but having experienced photographers around you that are willing to teach you. I run workshops. I work with the Manitoba Photo Friends. I'll put workshops on. Like last year I did one on DSLR video, and I was very new to it, but I wanted to share what I learned from video guides and shooting, and the experiences I learned, and the trials and tribulations of kind of learning on the fly. But there's so much information on the internet now that you really don't need to go to a school. If you want to, go ahead. There's a lot of online courses too. Like I said, there's Chase Jarvis Live. Our Chase Jarvis has the website creativelive.com, I think it is. Great website for learning. And they usually have photographers that will come on and do a video series to teach you how to do photography, or specific types of photography. If you're trying to do portraits, if you're trying to do landscape, macro photography, learning about studio lighting and things like that. Like, there's so many different aspects of photography. One of the things you have to know is, if you want to get into photography, what do you want to do? If you're planning to make money doing landscape, like if you want to make some extra money and you're doing fine art, just remember that it's a very difficult thing to break into, selling prints. On my site, mindsetphoto.com, I sell prints. It probably makes up 0.5% of my yearly income. The other thing is, once again, a lot of people don't see the value in buying prints, and they think, well, you just click the photo, so it should only be worth $50. They don't understand the time involved in editing them, or just the time involved in going out and shooting and finally getting that 1 in a million shot that you want to frame or you want to put up on your site for print. There is a lot of time involved, and people have, and just remember too, something that you may like, that you think is, the best shot in the world, may not be what the general public like. So it's, figure out what you want to shoot. If it's landscapes, if it's portraits, if it's real estate, if it's macro photography, like close-up photography, flowers, and then just go out and do it. It's and enjoy it. Don't get frustrated. It can be very frustrating and very difficult. But that's why I say surround yourself with other photographers. You're going to learn so much by working with other photographers that are professionals in their industry, or that just have a lot of experience in that. Like when it comes to portrait photography, I'm an okay portrait photographer. I understand the fundamentals. My issue is I'm not the best at posing people. That's where I struggle. I'm starting to learn it better, more and more, but I still find it something very difficult. Like my friend Lavina, with Lavina Wagner Photography, and she's in Saskatchewan. She's an amazing portrait photographer. She always says, I was her mentor and her push to get into photography, but honestly, I look up to her when it comes to her portraits, shooting weddings, and she does an amazing job. Another portrait photographer that I look up to is Shannon Bileski of Signature Exposures. She does she'll do portraits. She's actually the one that's going to be doing our family portraits, but she does what's it called, infant photography, and it's unreal how she gets these shots and to pose these babies and things. And I've tried doing that for friends and my sister and my own kids, and I get nervous. Like, okay, you got to move the baby this way, or if the baby wakes up, it's difficult. So I look up to those people. If they're putting on a workshop or they're sharing something on Facebook, I'm making sure I read it and try and get better in my craft. Photography isn't something you're going to be mastering. You're always going to be learning. There's always different techniques coming out, and one of the things I hear a lot, do I need an expensive camera? No, you don't. You need to know how to use your camera. On the video shoot I was doing yesterday, I was explaining to the realtor, yes, you can take a good photo with this. It's not going to be as great as using an SLR or a higher end camera, but you can take a really good photo. And there's tons of applications now for phones, Androids, iPhones. I don't know what Samsung runs on. I think Samsung's Android. But there are tons of camera apps on there that you can edit your images fairly quickly. There's Snapseed. If you're using any of the Adobe products, there's an app called Lightroom Mobile. I think there's even a Photoshop Mobile. So there are tons of tools out there that can help you. But one of the quotes I heard was, the best camera is the camera you have with you. So if you see a shot that you want to take, but you're going, I don't have my SLR camera, I don't have my good camera with me. If you understand the fundamentals of photography, get that shot. With this, use your iPhone, use your Android, use whatever camera you have with you to capture that moment. Or you can just, use your mind, blink your eyes and capture that moment forever in your memory. That's what photography. My suggestion to anybody getting into photography just as a hobby, or they're looking to do it as a profession, surround yourself with people with like minds. Surround yourself with other photographers that are experts in their field. Get on photo clubs, talk on forums. And on Facebook, there are tons and tons of photography groups. So get on those, ask questions, and get out and shoot. That's my biggest thing, is my biggest suggestion, is get out there and start taking pictures. And don't be afraid to post a picture and have someone critique it. You know, by all means, ask me what you think. You know, hit me up on Facebook, Facebook Messenger, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. You know, post your. You know, there's another great thing. You know, with Instagram today, you can get your work out there fairly quickly, and there'll be tons of people that'll comment and, you know, give you suggestions and such like that. So, but that is my vlog for today. I just wanted to talk, you know, quickly about, you know, how to get into photography, what you need to do, some tips, tricks, you know, surrounding yourself with the right people. But it is Friday. I want you guys to have a great weekend. It's supposed to be beautiful. I'm hoping, you know, I've got a birthday party I'm taking my son to on Saturday. I'm working tomorrow, but I'm getting to go to Pinawa, and I love Pinawa. But you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy your Friday, and I'll see you next time.